Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a little bit of interesting news in regards to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X walk-ins going on throughout this weekend. We actually have had a little bit more of a drier past like about 2-3 weeks or so when it comes to walk-ins. So I do think a lot of these actually will have some pretty nice things floating around. So I'll probably have some pretty good updates for you guys today and tomorrow. I'm just trying my best to give you guys all some good inside details. As well, we also have some of the big boy retailers such as Best Buy and GameStop, which we'll go touch on, which apparently still is actually holding on to some sort, like actually good amount of stock. As well, we also have some other various walk-in locations from pretty much every single area throughout, well, pretty much everywhere, all the United States, and a few stock arrivals, a little bit of Xbox news, and just a lot of little stuff kind of keeping you guys up to date. Now, I always want to remind you guys too, a lot of the stuff is always on the various side. Depends on the store, depends on the location, depends on the employees, depends on like stock and your overall area. So always bear that in mind. Sometimes these videos are maybe just good frame of references to see what happens and what's going on in your local area. And sometimes they're just kind of like, well, it's nowhere near me, so it's not worth your time. So I just want to give you guys that pre-heads up just so you guys don't feel bad or waste your time or whatever. But we have some interesting stuff to go and talk about. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. And of course, leave a like on the video if you guys would like. So let's go and dive on into it. So number one, big thing in regards to all these consoles and stuff, which is not even a console, is the GPUs. So if you guys have been seeing the news, we've actually been seeing quite a few Best Buy stores in specific event areas that actually are still having GPUs. Even as early as of yesterday, I made some videos last night and talked about that type of stuff, saying like, hey, we're still kind of seeing some movement. We're still kind of seeing some people picking up stock. And even since then, we had even more people go and confirm that they did go get I'm so used to saying that for consoles, for GPUs from their Best Buy drop. So if you guys want to go and check your local stores, go and check the event store going on. There is apparently still a good amount of stock for some locations. Although, as I mentioned, because there is like one of every single state, it's hard to have a fine-tune information. We'll maybe have a more broad update for you guys tomorrow, but a lot of stores are still having some good stock, especially because it was a good batch of 3060s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So like, maybe some people just really want a 3070 and then they don't want a guy of 3090 because it's more expensive. So just bear that in mind. We are still seeing store reports with that, and I'll give you guys some updates on it tomorrow. I'm going to maybe assume that we'd still see some more tomorrow and maybe Monday, just because this was not as heavily publicized. But as I mentioned, some stores are very low on stock and or out of stock. It really just depends because there's only a few event stores that were participating in it. So I just want to keep that on that. We'll give you guys an update tomorrow. Same thing too as well with GameStop. We saw like this, it's worth mentioning just in case someone gets really clutch on it. But I think we saw another store actually still have some stock. We had a report from some of the homies up on Twitter saying they went to one of their stores. If you guys remember, there was New York, Georgia, and Texas stores. One of them went to a Texas store, and they actually still had, I believe, they said 7 consoles bundles from their PlayStation 5, although they did say that that store is a little bit more on the laid-back and chill side, not like more as much of a big, high-population area. So we are still in reports on that. I'll let you guys know again for tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a little more on the lower laid-back side, but at least we are seeing stuff with it, which is always nice. As well, when it comes to some other various stuff for the weekend, Amazon, I'm going to keep on always reminding you guys that Amazon, mainly because they still have not dropped their Xbox Series X, or as well, they also still haven't dropped their Xbox Series X Halo Infinite Edition. I actually was checking out Halo Infinite up on my Twitch stream, so if you guys ever want to hang out there for late night or whatever, we might even have some nice like ambient noise going on my actual stream itself right now. But when it comes to all that type of stuff, we are still waiting for that. We have seen them do weekend drops before, but right now the Xbox is kind of just like in limbo. Like we have no idea when it's going to drop. It's just very, very overdue. We have no idea. And we also keep on seeing PS5 and Xbox warehouses. That's why there's all those links down below. And same thing too for the other various big boy retailers. Walmart. We've actually been seeing a lot of Walmart issues and canceled orders, which we may want to go and touch on maybe a little bit more in depth throughout the weekend, because I've had a lot of people having issues with it as of recently. Same with the PlayStation Directs too as well. But if for some reason you guys have had your consoles had any issues with that, feel free to leave a comment down below, mainly because we've seen a lot of people have their orders canceled or not arrive as of yet. And for some reason, I feel like Walmart and the PS Direct, especially because they've had so many drops going on, you kind of expect a little bit better. So we'll kind of go and see on that. So if you guys have any issues, leave a comment down below. As well, when it comes to some Best Buy, apparently some Best Buy walk-ins already happening on when it comes to like picking up stock. I actually did have a chance to get a PS5 from that drop for a future giveaway for you guys, but that's on the 9th for me, so I have to wait a little bit longer for that. But if you guys get your console, send me a picture. Same with Target, we saw a lot of folks getting that. As well, just a little bit of a side reminder, we do usually see a lot of Target walk-ins, very sporadically, of course, after a drop happens, usually around a week afterwards or so, or a few days afterwards, so bear that in mind and kind of keep that in mind if you guys are trying to get a walk-in for that. As well, when it comes to other various big boy retailers, we're probably gonna be a little more on the chiller side. No PlayStation Directs happen on the weekends. Gamefly usually doesn't do stuff on the weekends. Anti-Online also doesn't really do stuff on the weekends. Newegg shuffles do sometimes happen on the weekends, so just be on the lookout in case they do work on any on in. Now, for some other walk-in news floating around throughout this, Myers. We actually have apparently seen some confirmations of some Myers stores. This is the Midwest walk-in chain we cover a lot. Is actually having some stock apparently in Wisconsin and Michigan, which would make a lot of sense because before we had some more stock in the lower states. So that was in like the Ohio, Kentucky, etc. And we also have an Indiana content that did have some stock arrive, which we'll get to in a second. But apparently there's been a few small reports of people getting their console stock up in the northern states, which is very nice to go and see. So that also may go impact other also Myers stores. Granted, though, there's a lot of them, so we don't know the exact stock locations for every store, but we have been seeing them kind of floating around. Our content over in northern Indiana, who's been helping us with stock arrivals, etc., has also said that they have 3 consoles allocated to go and sell throughout the weekend for their PlayStation 5s. And then same thing too as well, they also have 4 Xbox Series X's that they had from previous times, if you guys remember those videos, and they're able to go and fully sell all those too as well. Like they were kind of somewhat releasing stock and somewhat like doing other stuff. It was kind of a weird from everything I've been told, but I do believe they should be selling them all throughout this weekend. So if we do see any more information from Myers, we'll let you guys know. Or if we see stock, or if you guys yourselves go and check your stores and see stock, always reminder, be nice to employees, be polite to employees and all that good stuff. But apparently we have been seeing stock from that, like I said, up in the northern states and also at least in Indiana. So that could kind of go either way, but those are the only reported places we've seen. Once again, depends on managers, depends on stores. Some employees are also kind of just yoinking the stock from the back room, like the second it shows up and like putting it basically on reserve. So just bear that in mind as well. Fred Meyer's and Kroger's apparently also, because they apparently the big restock days for them are more on like the Thursdays. Apparently some people were getting their consoles as of yesterday. So we did touch on that like really quickly in the day-to-day video, though I was definitely trying my best to have you guys more focus on Target than anything else. But for that, we are apparently seeing some more stock for that. So in case you guys do want to go and call your local Fred Meyer's or Kroger's, that's more on the west side chain, feel free to. Apparently we've been seeing some stock. Once again, I'll report on that if we see more stock confirmations or receipts or anything all of tomorrow. As well, PC Richards. Apparently PC Richards also did have a nice little batch of PlayStation 5 stock arrivals for that. So if you guys are in the New York area and you guys do want to go and check your local stores just to go and see if they have stock, super feel free to. Apparently they have their bundles all floating around for that, which is always very nice to go and see. And also for the other various walk-in places, Staples. Now, I actually almost want to say this. We'll have to do a bit more information on this, and if we do see stuff, I'll let you guys know for sure, either whether it's on a separate video or in general. But we did see Staples this past week actually have a lot more stores in the New York and East Coast area, have a lot more stock available for walk-ins, in bundles, and stuff like that. Apparently, it was both the PS5 disc, which was the more heavily favored, like they had more stock for that, and the PlayStation 5 digitals in very stock ends, and no Xbox Series X's. But we've been seeing a lot more reports of that on the New York and East Coast. So in case you guys are in those areas, you guys can go and see. I mentioned before that my local Staples said they're getting stock. We just didn't know exactly when, where, or how, but we have been seeing reports of that. And as well, to kind of wind down the video for the other various walk-in places, HEB, we have not still seen any more Xbox Series X's. Although it is a little bit more on the overdue side, like we're kind of just expecting it just from the time, but we haven't seen any reports on it. As well, same when it comes to BJ's for their wholesale club, have not seen any walk-ins. Costco, we did see a few walk-ins like 2 weeks ago, but as of this weekend, and we also saw some rumors for some Illinois ones, we have not seen any more drops in regards to them. And then same thing too for all the other various walk-in locations too. So we might have a little bit more of a quiet weekend, but at least we have those potentials with the Best Buy and GameStop, and as well all the other various walk-ins. So 100%, I'll give you guys more updates throughout this weekend, maybe tomorrow morning if we see more stuff. And I just appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well. Link down below. Sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Just simply go sell your stuff, get some free money. And Coinbase, if you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin. There's always a link down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for existing. I'll see you guys later on throughout today. Love you guys.